Today's story begins in a small town called Candido Godoy located in the state of Rio Grande do Sul in the far south of Brazil. At first glance, this place looks like just another ordinary Brazilian town, but once you step inside, you will discover something extraordinary: its so-called specialty, an unusually high number of twins. In this town of fewer than 7,000 inhabitants, most of them descendants of Germans who crossed the ocean after World War II to settle here. The twin birth rate is astonishing. According to statistics, the rate of twin births in this tiny town is around 20%. That means that for every 5 pregnant women, one gives birth to twins. Globally, the average rate is only about 1.89%. Such a remarkable difference quickly drew the attention of scientists and scholars everywhere. They began investigating possible causes, from the genetics of the population, to the local environment, even to the town's drinking water. But no convincing explanation has ever been found. At that time, Argentine historian Jorge Camarasa put forward a disturbing hypothesis that the mystery of this twin town might be linked to the racial experiments of Nazi physician Joseph Mengele. Infamous worldwide as the Angel of Death, Camarasa suggested that after the Second World War, Mengele fled to Brazil and carried out human experiments for years in this small town, seeking to create the perfect people for the Nazi regime. So what really happened? Today, we will explore one of the most insane reproductive experiments in history. In 1933, Hitler rose to power as the leader of Germany, and soon after he ignited the Second World War. Between 1939 and 1941, Germany quickly occupied 14 European countries. At that time, Hitler's ambition was burning. He even sought to dominate the entire world. In 1935, Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS and the second most powerful man in Nazi Germany, launched the Lebensborn Project, or Fountain of Life. Its purpose was to use eugenics to nurture a pure and superior Aryan race. Eugenics was a theory popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. First proposed by English anthropologist Francis Galton in 1883. It was supported by many politicians and leaders at the time, including Hitler. Under Hitler's regime, eugenics was glorified and used as a tool to cleanse society. To eliminate peoples considered inferior, Hitler and Himmler promoted racial discrimination, insisting that lower races had to make way for higher ones. In the 19th century, social Darwinism was popular, using Darwin's theory of natural selection to explain human society. Only the strong survive, while the weak perish. For Hitler and Himmler, however, natural evolution was too slow. They believed human intervention was necessary to breed a superior race. That was the original intention behind the Lebensborn Project. They promoted it under the guise of serving Germany's future and creating a better tomorrow for humanity. Under Nazi propaganda and brainwashing, countless women willingly entered these breeding facilities, even agreeing to surrender their children to the state. At first, the Lebensborn homes only admitted pregnant women from the general population. Once chosen, they were treated like princesses, carefully cared for. When the children were born, they were raised in the facilities under the best conditions, or given to elite Nazi families. But entry required strict screening. The only criterion was racial purity. Families had to prove 3 generations free of any Jewish ancestry. A chart was used. White circles represented Aryan lineage. Black circles represented Jewish blood. Out of 5 categories, only those considered pure German were accepted. Yet the number of eligible women was limited. To solve this, the SS turned their attention to young German girls with the purest Aryan features. In 1936, an 18-year-old school graduate named Hildegard Trutz tall, blonde, and blue-eyed, was selected. When she was uncertain about her future, SS officers told her, "If you don't yet know what to do, why not give the Führer a child? Your wide hips and strong frame make you perfect for motherhood. We need people like you to strengthen our nation." Out of love for Hitler and the Reich, Hildegard volunteered. She was not alone. Hundreds of beautiful blonde, blue-eyed young women signed secret agreements, telling their families they were attending a state training program. They also agreed to give their children to the nation after birth. These girls were then paired with SS officers in a large-scale, anonymous matching system. They were given a week to choose a partner. Once doctors determined their ovulation, the girls and the officers were taken to private rooms, where they would spend 3 nights together. If a woman conceived, the officer returned to the battlefield. In these breeding camps, the women were treated like livestock, and the children like products on an assembly line. 10 months later, Hildegard successfully gave birth to a handsome Aryan boy and proudly left the camp, while her family never even knew she had secretly born a child for the Nazis. Only the strongest infants were allowed to live. Weak or deformed babies were killed immediately. Even healthy infants with hair or eye color considered too pale were subjected to harsh treatments. For example, strong light was shown into their eyes in an attempt to alter their appearance. And Himmler personally devised high-protein diets for them. Nurses were forbidden to comfort crying babies, in order to train their endurance, even if the infants screamed until their throats bled. By the late 1930s, Himmler had built 10 Lebensborn facilities in Germany, and soon expanded into other countries deemed racially valuable: Norway, Denmark, France, and Belgium. Between 1935 and 1945, there were 36 facilities across Europe, producing more than *8.000 Aryan children. Hitler's ultimate goal was to reach *120 million by 1980 But the program could never keep up with Nazi ambitions. Wherever the SS went, they kidnapped Aryan-looking children, sometimes snatching them directly from their mother's arms. Blonde hair and blue eyes became almost a curse across Europe. Hitler believed these children must serve the Reich. After being kidnapped, they were subjected to racial tests: eye color, hair color, physical examinations. Those judged excellent were accepted. Those deemed inferior were sent to concentration camps and the gas chambers. In 1942, after German forces invaded Crimea, a blonde, blue-eyed boy named Alexander Lidau caught their attention. He was taken to Germany, forbidden to speak his native language, and told that his parents had abandoned him. Eventually, he was adopted by a wealthy German family and renamed Fokker Heineck. According to incomplete statistics, around *250.000 children were kidnapped by the Nazis, with only a small fraction surviving. Cases like Alexander's were rare. To increase efficiency, Mengele expanded the Lebensborn concept into his twin experiments because one birth yielding 2 children was far better than one. His theory was that just as dogs could be selectively bred, so too could humans. In the 1940s, Mengele moved to the notorious Auschwitz concentration camp, which became the main site of his twisted twin experiments. It is estimated that he experimented on *1.500 pairs of twins, with fewer than 100 surviving. Mengele himself was a thin man with obsessive cleanliness. His uniform was always perfectly pressed, his shoes polished to a shine. He applied the same perfectionist standards to his victims. Any child with health problems or skin defects, even those who had once undergone minor surgery, was sent to the gas chambers. Among the rare survivors were sisters Eva and Miriam Moses. Born in a Jewish family in Romania, they were deported to Auschwitz along with their parents and siblings. The SS quickly noticed the twins and separated them for experimentation. Their mother and older sisters were sent directly to the gas chambers. Eva and Miriam endured endless examinations. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays they were stripped naked for detailed inspections that lasted up to 8 hours. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays they had blood drawn and were injected with unknown substances. Eva recalled collapsing from blood loss and once suffering from extreme fever. With her body covered in rashes, doctors told her she would not live more than 2 weeks. But Eva refused to die. She was determined to see her sister again. Miraculously, she survived. When she reunited with Miriam, she found her so weakened she could barely move. The experiments had permanently damaged Miriam's kidneys, stunting their growth. After the war, only fewer than 100 pairs of twins walked out of Auschwitz alive. Eva and Miriam were among them. They were later moved to Israel. Eva eventually emigrated to the United States, while Miriam remained in Israel. But the damage from Mengele's experiments followed them for life. Miriam suffered repeated kidney infections and eventually organ failure. Eva donated one of her own kidneys to her sister, saying, "I have 2 kidneys, but only one twin sister." Despite the transplant, Miriam's health declined, and she died in 1993. Eva continued to travel the world, telling their story. She passed away in 2019 at the age of 85. After the war, the Lebensborn Program collapsed. When American forces entered Germany, only about 100 Aryan children between 6 months and 6 years old remained in the facilities. Staff had long since fled. These children, once hailed as the future of the Reich, now became symbols of shame. In Norway, women who had relationships with German soldiers were publicly humiliated, shaved bald, stripped, and paraded in the streets. Their children were insulted as Nazi spawn. Officials even declared that believing such children could become good citizens was as absurd as believing rats could become pets. Many of these children were institutionalized, some even scrubbed with chemicals in attempts to wash off the Nazi taint. In 2018, on the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg publicly apologized to these women and children. But for many, the trauma and stigma never healed. Studies revealed that suicide rates among children born in the Lebensborn program were much higher than among ordinary Germans. The ones truly guilty were Hitler, the SS, and the architects of the regime. The children were innocent, yet they carried the stigma for life. One survivor, Paul Hansen, once said, "I will never escape this shame. I only wish my ashes could be scattered in the wind so that I would never be chosen again." And so we returned to Candido Godoy, the Brazilian town of twins. Later research showed that its high rate of twin births had been recorded since 1927. Long before the Nazis ever reached South America. This means the mystery of the town's twins is unrelated to Mengele's experiments. The SS roamed across Europe for years, taking countless innocent lives, yet never managed to create the super race they dreamed of. Perhaps this is fate, something that cannot be changed. Hitler's crimes and the mysteries surrounding him remain a dark shadow over history. Yet strangely, some people still admire figures like Hitler or Stalin as if they were great geniuses. History, it seems, is never simple, and is often shaped by propaganda. So what about Hitler himself? For a man so ambitious, who some claim even had contact with extraterrestrials, is it really possible that he died so simply in 1945? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments about the Lebensborn Project and the fate of Hitler. And that is the end of today's story. Thank you for watching. If you found this video meaningful, please share it with a friend. Thank you, and see you next time.